Previously on the 8-Question Show.
And recap on how you know when you're personally ready. Is it a financial thing? Is it an emotional thing? Is it a life? Tell us more.
It's definitely financial, and it's definitely what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent. When you feel that your life is consistent,
Ooh, okay.
You're in a consistent. Remember, renting is supposed to be temporary.
Yes.
People rent for temporary reasons. Some people rent forever because they just don't know.
Can't afford, that's why I'm front line, hand the sword. I do this all for myself, not the cash or no damn award. I need intelligence to craft my bars. I need the medicine that grows effervescent from the hands of God. I need inheritance to slash the odds, create a pipeline to the well while you grasp for straws. 8 questions, 8 questions, 8 questions, 8 questions, 8 questions, 8 questions, 8 questions.
Welcome back to the 8-Question Show, where we inject knowledge in your brains by asking the right question.
We are back with our friend Real Estate Pete. We've been asking him some pretty intense questions, and today we are on question 5. Real Estate Pete, what I want to ask you today, how is real estate valued?
Okay. Real estate is valued on a few different terms. You have appraisal value, which will be technically what the other properties around it have sold for in recent time. You also have, is it a place that is in high demand? So let's just say if I have a house on the lake, it could be the same exact house that's down the block. But because this house is on the lake, it's, way more money.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what's around the house, where the house is located. Then, the city also has their own appraisal, which is what your taxes are based on, which is typically lower than what you're paying for it, but you don't want it to be too high because then your taxes are going to be through the roof. So there is a term for it that's escaping me right now. I might want to look it up, but it depends. Is this a place that is in high demand? Maybe at one point, let's just say on this particular area, in this particular area where the house is, there was a beautiful lake. Matter of fact, I have a property up right now, 115 acres, gorgeous property, but they drained the lake.
So what's there now? Just dead fish?
It's just a drained lake. It was an issue with the dam.
What?
It's a big issue in Pennsylvania too. A lot of these dams are so old, they're not up to code. So now, this guy wants an enormous amount of money for the property, but nobody wants to pay for it because who wants a house on a drained lake?
Exactly.
What does a drained lake look like?
Well,
dirt.
It's not entirely drained.
It's like a little.
They'll just
puddle.
lower it. Yeah, it just looks terrible.
Oh my God.
It just looks terrible. You can't fish in it. You can't swim in it. You can't canoe in it. So yeah, in this case, this guy is freaking out now.
I can only imagine.
He's freaking out. He can't sell his property. So it really depends on where it is.
Yeah.
And again, what properties around it have sold and what they sold for.
Can you find, in terms of value, when let's just say you're in a community, you like the community, let's just say prices on average in this community sells for like 400,000. Let's just say. Is there a way to find properties like that are undervalued, even though they're priced with how other homes are priced? So for example, let's just say you did like a deep dive on the property and you feel like, well, this property is adjacent to this land which is now owned, even though they list this property for 400,000, but they didn't factor that part in. Is there a way, can you do that? Like find undervalued property? That's
what these investors have been doing, is they have been, honing in on specific properties, or let's just say the property's in foreclosure. That's also a way to get something maybe that needs some work.
Yeah.
Foreclosure is when the person living there bought the house. They thought they could afford it. They couldn't, or for whatever reason, they decided to stop paying for it and the bank wants their money. So they're going to sell it at whatever price it is so they can recoup. So let's just say, the septic system is shot It needs all new electric, but it's the same as this $400,000 house. So if I put this money into it, it could be worth just as much as this one, because when they do the appraisal, they're going to say, oh, that house next door just sold for $400,000. So we're going to compare it to that one.
Got it.
What can you do to increase the value of your house?
You can put a new roof on it. You can paint it. You could put new electric, new plumbing. You can put some new flooring in. You could paint it. You could put some new appliances in.
Yeah.
Make it something that somebody wants to buy. Let's say you just got that pre-approval for $1.2 million, but you don't really have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. So you're not going to buy a property that needs work because you don't have the money to put into it.
Exactly.
So you're going to utilize the bank's money to buy something that's in great shape right off the bat.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a big thing too. That's what's happening now. Is a lot of these people don't have any cash, but they have their pre-approval. They want a house now.
Okay.
So they'll pay a little bit more because they don't have that money to put into something.
I want to ask you a question about, from a value standpoint, like the guy has 115 acres, but it's on a drained lake. How hard is it to own all the rights on your land? So,
good question.
So if I own farmland, because actually it was
like the mineral rights, you're saying?
Mineral rights,
Mineral
water
rights.
rights, the timber rights.
Right.
Like how, because it was a story last year where this couple, they bought farmland, but that's all they bought was the farmland. They didn't think about timber. They didn't think about water rights. They didn't think about mineral rights, any of that. And then the government pretty much took the land from them because they didn't own all of those rights.
Right.
So how hard is it to own the rights of property, or like what to like? Is it a similar process saying that I want this land and all the rights to it, or is it another process to own rights on the land?
It depends how that sale is being conveyed.
Okay.
So first of all, to go back to what you said, that is a potential lawsuit for the brokerage, because the realtor, it was his job to do that due diligence and say, hey, look, when you purchase this property, just to let you know, you're only purchasing this.
Got it.
So that is a potential lawsuit if it's not already.
A big one.
Big one. Because now the government just took my land and your realtor never
told me about the rights.
Yeah, never disclosed this to me.
See, that's something that I've seen up our way with gas rights and drilling rights, because some people would be like, you can own the house, you can own the land, but I get to retain all of the gas rights. And that was always so confusing to me, because it's like your house and there's a pipe on it, but you don't get any of the rewards for having this pipe on your land. But now I kind of get it. It would be like if you bought let's say a building that had a pizzeria in it, and you buy the building, that doesn't also mean that you own a pizzeria.
Correct.
Exactly. You know what's funny about rights? It's on the show Ozarks, if you all watch it. And I thought this was just like fiction, but then I looked it up and it's real. There's a scene in Ozarks where these I forgot the last name, but anyways, they're the largest landowner in Missouri. They built a waterway that connected to the Mississippi River, I think. And since they built the waterway and then that water connected to the Mississippi River,
No, I saw
the government could it's called riparian rights, where now that since you build it up until the point and now your water is connected to our water, we can, and then whatever the land touches is now the government's land. They can do anything they want. They build a casino on it.
Right.
So I didn't know how that knowledge around that. I didn't know that was real at first. I was like, there's no way that can happen. Then I researched. I was like, that can actually happen if you don't know your way around like rights and laws around that.
Right. And that goes into another question you guys have, we'll get into that, which I don't want to mention it, but maybe I'll save that for later. But there are situations where the government can just take your land.
Goodness gracious.
They can just take it.
Yeah. That's all right. So what about this? What are some ways, and this might seem like a silly question, what are some ways that you can destroy the value of your property?
Well,
this podcast is brought to you by Believe Elite Athletic Training. Believe Elite has transformed the minds and bodies of thousands of athletes. The nutritional coaching, strength and conditioning training, and mental performance programs are now available online. Work with owner and head performance coach John Rand, aka Coach JR, my good friend, to attain your goals and be the 1%. Coach JR works with some of the best athletes in the world. He can help you too. All you have to do is believe it. Apply online for a free phone consultation today by clicking on the link in the description.
You can turn it into a crack house.
Oh, so I shouldn't do that.
Don't do that.
No, Brian, do not do that.
Unless it's extremely profitable for the time being. But again, also, back into, hey, if this house that's next door to me, let's say you have a beautiful property, right? And it's right next door to this house that is a meth lab.
Yeah.
And now the people have got arrested or whatever, and it's public knowledge that this house was a meth lab.
Yeah.
It's going to not necessarily bring the value of your property down from an appraisal standpoint, but come on.
When people are looking at that.
Yeah, I'm not. So you can do that. You can, delayed maintenance.
Yeah.
Is the biggest one. Delayed maintenance is exactly what it sounds like. I didn't get the roof repaired when I should. Now there's a leak in the roof and I don't have the money to repair it. So maybe I'll send Jimmy up there to patch it up real quick.
Exactly.
But when I go to sell the house, they're like, wait a second. Not only was this not done properly, but the delayed maintenance of it has caused all this other damage.
Exactly.
Having long-term renters, because now you're not in the house.
Yeah,
they're not, unless you're going in there, really seeing what's going on. By the time they get out, you may walk in and be like, oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Everything needs to be replaced. There's smoking in the house, all of that.
You bring back flashbacks.
Yeah, see?
Happened to me.
There, that too. Anything that leads to delayed maintenance, where this house, the upkeep is not steady, can determine the loss of value for that property.
See, that's the thing that, like, when we were talking about should I own or should I rent, question 2, which if you haven't watched it, great episode, go back, listen to it. This is something that a lot of people don't factor in. I mean, you get into a house, even if it's a nice house, the kids are splashing too much in the tub. The water comes out, starts leaking through the floor. Now the first floor ceiling's got cracks in it. You got to upkeep this shit, because if you let that go for 10 years, your house is going to start falling apart.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
100%. Man, that's
not that happened to me.
I have a
but
kid.
clearly it happened to me.
I got a kid. I'm
Very
not going
much
to say
happened
his
to me.
name, but he was a very ambitious 23-year-old, and he purchased a multifamily out here, 2 multifamilies out in Scranton. And he thought, hey, we're just going to keep the people that have been renting in there. Yeah, their rents are low, but hey, the properties are paying for themselves, and I'm just going to hire a property manager to go make sure everything's good.
Yeah.
2 years later, he's like, all right, Pete, I'm ready to sell. I say, okay, let's sell it. We put it on the market. Everything looks okay, right?
Oh my God, no.
Meanwhile, in the basement, there's this hole
Oh my God.
where feces is just shooting out of it.
God.
Anytime somebody uses the toilet, I have pictures of it. It's really bad. But
if you want to see pictures of the feces hole, go on www.realestatepete.
But when it came time to sell, he didn't put any effort into making any of these repairs or to check if any of these things were done, and the property manager's just getting paid. He's not saying, hey, let's do a full scan of the property. Let's make sure everything's okay. So we went to sell and nobody wanted to buy. And now he's finding out that he has to put, tens of thousands of dollars to get it back where it needs to be to sell it. And he doesn't have that money.
Yeah, it's funny you saying this, because like Brian said, a lot of people don't think about this. My mom had properties, and when I was a kid, it turned, I tell Brian this all the time, it turned me off from being a landlord based on how she, of course, that was just her example, but how she went about doing things. The tenant would get kicked out or move on. We had to go in and we had to paint. One tenant put a hole in the wall. And I was like,
They always do that.
I was
Put a
like,
hole in the wall. That's
put
the
a
least of
hole
your
in the wall.
problems.
I was like,
a hole in the wall.
Exactly, a hole in the wall. And then one day we were wondering, like, where are they putting all their trash?
In that hole in the wall?
It wasn't a hole. We had a storage unit in the back of the triplex. They put all of their trash for a year in this storage unit.
Why?
In the back. I have no clue. So when we opened it, when I tell you it smelled like hell. I ain't gonna lie. It's probably the worst smell of my life.
God damn.
But it was like, but I was like, this is crazy. But
that makes me think of an example with my own folks.
Do you think?
Of that what Pete said regarding check out the neighbors situation.
Yeah.
My parents have a very nice home. Their next door neighbor, you would think that you drove down like deep into the backwoods of like the country.
Yeah.
You look at their neighbor's house. This guy's got wood logs stacked up, never mowed his lawn. House is falling apart. He's got like 11 trash cars just decaying on his front lawn.
What?
I'm waiting to see like chickens running around this place, and they're in a community.
Oh my goodness!
And so you look at my parents' house, and it's nice. And then even though the guy's not selling, so it's not affecting the appraised value of the nearby homes.
So potential buyers will be turned off by that.
They're going to see it. They're going to see that damn house, and it could affect it.
100%.
Yes.
Okay, Pete. Let's put on our business hats. So this is from a buying standpoint. What about from an investing standpoint? How do you value? What do you have to
this is a good question,
right? It's like if I'm buying a property, that cap rates and how is that utilized?
Talk about the cap rates,
vacancies, and all that type of stuff.
So, without getting into the cap rate stuff too much, because a lot of people are familiar with cap rates. Pretty much, how much money am I putting in? How much am I getting out?
Exactly.
What is your purpose for buying the house? Let's say I want to buy this 4-unit property to rent it out.
Okay.
Is it in a location where there's people renting? Is it in a location where I know if I build this up nice, that people are going to pay this amount of money to rent here?
Okay.
So it has a lot to do with the location, the situation. But from an investor standpoint, I want to buy a property to where I know for what I'm using it for, it would work.
Okay.
I have a client that has a house in the Poconos and has a house in Jersey Shore.
Okay.
She said, Pete, go stay in the house for a weekend. I want you to go check it out. Tell me what you think. Renovated, right by the beach. She wants to Airbnb it. Perfect spot.
Yep.
Perfect opportunity for Airbnb because it's in a location where every summer, everyone goes down to the Jersey Shore to rent this house. So now if she would have said and say, hey, I want to buy this house and, do it as a long-term rental, you're losing out because you can only rent it long-term for so much.
Right.
And then when the hot season comes around, you can't raise the rent.
Exactly.
When it's a better, more popular season. So again, it is multiple factors, but you want to hone in on what it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
As an investor.
So it's almost like as an investor, you have to view it completely within a lens of an investment. The value of the house matters only on the buy, but you want to see what this thing is cash flowing.
What is the purpose of it? Yeah, what is the purpose of you? You said the guy bought a building and there was a pizza restaurant in there. He doesn't necessarily own that pizza restaurant.
Exactly.
But he bought the building because he was so perplexed at how busy this restaurant was. I'll give you a perfect example. Our good friend Amar Bell, barber.
That's right.
This guy purchased the building where he worked in the barbershop. He was just a barber. He was actually sleeping in there at one point. Met the owner. He knew the owner for a while. Got his stuff together. Went in and bought the property. It's got a laundromat.
That's right.
Which now it belongs to him. So now the business came with the sale. Again, what's being conveyed in the sale.
Exactly. So
now he owns the laundromat, converted the barbershop into a beauty salon, and renovated the 2 units upstairs to rent.
Apartments. Yep.
That's smart.
Oh yeah.
So again,
he's very smart.
But again, he knew the area, he knew the building, he knew the clientele, and said, if I can buy this property, I know it'll be beneficial to me. He put in years of research and then got it when it was, forget about it. It's worth it. Forget it. My guy is very intelligent man, but that's the perfect example.
Right.
I got a curveball for you before we wrap up. Can you misprice property from an overvalue standpoint?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of like if let's just say you've done your research, but you're not looking forward, like you're not paying attention to what's going on and how things are shifting, right?
Well, you met Lucky Larry, the realtor, And he's saying, yeah. Oh, well, this is a steal. In 5 years, did you know they're going to build a railway from Manhattan to Scranton?
Oh my God.
You got to buy this property now.
Yeah.
How much is it? Yeah, pay it. Don't worry. In 5 years, it's going to be triple that.
Exactly.
You ran into Larry, the realtor. Now, the railway was never built.
Yeah.
Your property, no one wants to move to that area anymore because there's nothing going on there. They shut the mall down, let's just say.
Yeah.
They shut down all the stuff around it. Now you're stuck with a lemon. It could even be a great property.
Wow.
But now it's not even worth nowhere what you spent for it.
Wow.
I love it.
Friggin'
So
Larry.
to sum up this question, how to value your property, it depends on what the use is, at least from an investor standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But from a buying standpoint,
the appraised value.
Do your research. Do the research on the area to make sure this is where you want to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Neighbors, pay attention.
Right.
And put all that aside. Do you love it or do you like it?
That's the point. That's a long-term purchase. For most people,
some people might say, I don't care what I'm paying for it. I love it. I'm in love with it. I want it. I don't care.
Boom.
My grandma lives right down the block. I need it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, listen.
Question 5.
Real estate Pete has been on fire for these 5 questions, man. I'm telling you.
They're only getting harder. They're getting
harder for sure. Listen, listeners, thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you comment, like, and share, and subscribe. Next time, we're going to be asking Pete, can your property be taken from you? I cannot wait for this question. See you all next time on the next episode of the 8 Question Show.
3-4 years ago, I could go to the tax sale and pick up a property maybe for like $3,000.
I bought a plot of land for $100
See?
tax sale.
I knew a guy.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
I had a guy bought a whole
$100.
house for $3,000. We put a little bit of money in it, sold it for $150,000.